Many people know Caligula as the emperor who tried to make his horse a consul. However, his rule is much more dramatic and horrifying than that. He has gone down in history as Rome's most tyrannical emperor. Among the things contributing to his reputation are his incestuous relationship with his sister Drusilla, his execution of those who had helped make him emperor, the humiliation of his most powerful and famous soldiers, and the fact that he believed and acted like he was a god. Gaius Julius Caesar Germanicus, better known as Caligula, was born on August 31st of the year 12 AD in what is now Anzio, Italy. He was born into Rome's most distinguished family, the Julio-Claudians. He came from a family of emperors. For example, his great-grandfather Augustus ruled from 27 BC until 14 AD, and his father, Germanicus, who Caligula was close with, was in line for the throne but died before becoming emperor. Germanicus was a charismatic and popular military leader. Gaius's nickname, Caligula, comes from military trips he took with his father as a young boy. Germanicus liked to dress his son up in a tiny version of the military uniform of the time. The Roman soldiers loved his boots and nicknamed the boy Caligula, which translates to little boot. Because of the soldiers, as well as the Romans' high opinions of Germanicus, Tiberius was fearful that he was too powerful. When Germanicus died of a mysterious illness under suspicious circumstances, many assumed that Tiberius had Germanicus killed because he was jealous of the man's popularity. Caligula's older brothers, Nero and Drusus, both of whom were in line for the throne, were also killed or banished during Tiberius's treason trials. Caligula was spared as he was only a teenager and sent to live with his great-grandmother, Augustus's wife. It was there that historians believe he developed an incestuous relationship with his younger sisters, Drusilla, Agrippina, and Julia Livilla. After many years, Tiberius forced Caligula to come to the Italian island of Capri, where Tiberius was staying, and spend time with him. Caligula despised Tiberius, as he was to blame for the death of most of Caligula's family, an experience that left him mentally traumatized. He was forced to conceal his hatred, which probably led to his mental illness later in life. Even Tiberius, who was a cruel emperor, thought Caligula was insane, as he liked nothing more than watching people be tortured or executed. Caligula is believed to have hastened Tiberius's death by smothering him with the help of Praetorian prefect Marco. Caligula took the throne after his death. Later, Caligula would order Marco and his cousin and equal heir to the throne, Gemellus, put to death. At first, Caligula's rule seemed like a blessing to the Romans. He freed those that Tiberius had exiled during the treason trials, got rid of a tax that the citizens hated, and held many extravagant events like gladiator shows, chariot races, and boxing matches. He also held a ceremony for the burning of records from the treason trials. However, 6 or 7 months into his rule, Caligula fell ill, almost to the point of dying. He remained on the edge of death for about a month, and recovered, but he was not the same mentally. He suffered from headaches for the rest of his life, and may have had epilepsy. Caligula also liked to dress as a woman, and spend large amounts of Rome's money. He was known to blackmail upper-class Roman families, and sometimes took their homes to fund his extravagant life. In addition, he believed he was a god, and wanted a giant statue of him built in the Jewish temple, but was talked out of it by Herod Agrippa. He also ordered the Romans to build a bridge to Jupiter's temple so he could converse with the god. Caligula, similarly to Tiberius, was a cruel ruler. He executed political enemies as well as those closest to him, and often forced parents to watch their children be killed. He despised the Roman aristocracy and forced senators to kiss his feet while he flirted with their wives. Caligula enjoyed humiliating people as well. When he led his army into Gaul in 40 AD, he forced them to stop and pick up shells on the beach, which he called the spoils of the conquered ocean, instead of attacking. Because of Caligula's attitude towards them, naturally the Roman elite began to despise him. The man who likely hated Caligula the most was the leader of his Praetorian Guard, Cassius Chaerea. He was Caligula's main torturer and enforcer of laws, but over the years Caligula had teased him and mocked his effeminacy endlessly. Because of this, Chaerea wanted revenge. After watching the Palatine Games in January of 41 AD, Caligula was making his way to his private baths when he was stopped by Chaerea and other members of his Praetorian Guard. They stabbed him 30 times, threw the body in a shallow grave, and then killed his wife and daughter. His death was not mourned by the Romans at all. They had grown to despise him and his tyranny. The Roman Senate ordered that all his statues be taken down and destroyed, in an attempt to erase Caligula from Roman